currently Sunday. It's a little bit late in the day. It's 5 p.m. roundabout, but we had some stuff we had to do. In which you saw, we cleaned the subframe off a little bit. It was caked in oil and stuff because my oil pressure sensor has been leaking for a while, and I just never really got around to fixing it. But obviously we're gonna fix it now, but you know, so we wanted to spray it down, clean it. We also cleaned all the other cars that we own, the dailies, you know, and they needed it pretty bad. So that's kind of how we spent the first part of our Sunday. So before it gets too dark out, it's still pretty sunny out here, we're going to get some work done. It was like we're kind of doing stuff like all over the place, and we kind of have to. But in this one, we're going to start by draining the oil and taking the oil pan off, because hopefully sometime this week I can take it to my fabricator and have them weld in one of these bungs right here. I'm not sure which one's going to work the best. I'm assuming this one, because the oil pan is cast, so I'm just going to bring them both, and whichever one works, you know. So yeah, and after we get that done, trying to sell my my old injectors. They're Bosch 550s, so, and we're using different ones obviously for boost. So I need to go into the hot wiring harness, which sucks because I didn't think to do this earlier, but these are all the old pigtails for the Bosches. We need to find where they were spliced in, if they even were. They might have just repinned them, which I'm hoping that that's what they did instead of splicing them, but we're not going to know that. So we have to pretty much undo this wrapping, which kind of sucks, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So the next video will either be all about the transmission, because honestly it should be pretty quick. There's really nothing to disconnect except these two plugs, and then we have to pull off the shifter assembly, and then after that it's just all the bell housing bolts and the mount, and then we can drop the trans. So we're probably gonna do that. I'm still waiting on the parts to come in. It's kind of what 90% of this is. It's a waiting game, so sucks, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And we'll also probably be assembling the oil drain, and then we're definitely going to install this so that we can go ahead and plug the thermostat up. I need to pull it off anyways because we got to re-RTV it, but unfortunately ended up going with K-Tune. I don't like K-Tune, I'll be the first to tell you that, but they were the only ones that I could find at the time that had them in stock immediately, so went ahead and ordered it. It's just a little plug, so I'm not too worried about it. If need be, I might end up putting some Honda Bond on there too, just to make sure it doesn't leak, because it's one of the major things I want out of this motor. I don't want any leaks anywhere, like at all. Like I'm gonna have a spasm if I see a leak after we're done with all this. So we're gonna take our time with it and do everything as good as we can. Do it right the first time, don't have to do it twice. So yeah, let's get to work. Alright, while we're letting the oil to finish dripping out, just want as much of it out of there as possible before we drop the pan. Probably going to leave the oil filter on for now, but yeah, it's going to have to come off eventually too. But while it's finishing up draining, I'm going to go ahead and clean this area up down in here so we can go ahead and install that plug. Like so. And we're going to retighten her down, and that's going to make sure the pressure doesn't pop the little plug off. Alright, so we got the little bracket in here, the plug. Honestly, I'm pretty impressed with how tight it is. So the sucker's not going anywhere. So as long as the As long as the little plug there doesn't leak or pop out or anything, or I guess the O-ring, as long as the O-ring's good, I don't see an issue. And if it does go bad, I have a set of AC O-rings, like little organizer box, so if it does go bad, I'll just swap it out if I ever need to. But yeah, pretty stoked. Looks good, and it's going to clean up the engine bay a lot, especially over on this side. I'm going to cut this little bracket here off the OEM heater core pipe, well, heater hose that runs that way, so that I can still attach it here, so that this charge harness can still sit right there all happy once the car is back together. All right, well, thanks to the whole angle grinder, I'm gonna cut off. About to lay some spray paint on it so it doesn't rust. All right, well, got the little bracket in there. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it'll do its job. And perfect. Now the charge harness has a good little place to sit, but no pipe still there. Awesome. It's finally time to go ahead and drop the pan. Put this drain bolt back in here. Several bolts later, and the oil pan's ready to come out. There's a bunch of these little tiny 12 mil bolts that circle all the way around, and one of them I could get, which was this one, without taking off this bracket, but the other one you can't. So there's the bracket here that mounts to the lower back motor mount has to come off. There's two bolts that go to the transmission bell housing right here and right here. And then I had to take off this little metal cover here as well. So you can kind of see the flywheel. It's a little dark in here, but we'll be seeing that soon enough anyways. But yeah, so it's all just about ready to come out finally. And supposedly this oil pan has some oil baffling done to it. So we'll find out if that's true or not. All right guys, well it's been probably a couple hours since you saw that last clip. Well, for us, we had to make a stop. We had to go to AutoZone, need some pry bars, rubber mallet. For the life of us, we could not get this oil pan off with any screwdrivers or anything. Oh, my knee's killing me. But yeah, so hopefully this does the trick. That oil pan is on there, dude. Like, it's bad. It is tight, so hopefully one of these suckers here will help us get it off, and then we can finally get this oil pan off. And I hope not. I don't think so. We might have. I think so. Well, let's get it out. It's out on all sides, so except that one. I'll hold the pan. Just get it out. Good.
Oh, so it's stuck on the mount over here, I think. Is it hitting? It's kind of stuck.
Got it.
Get a flat edge and put it on it after we sand it down.
Let's do that. Do you have a flat edge?
Yeah, let's look in here.
Well, in case you guys are wondering, we absolutely screwed the pooch on this one. There were two oil pan bolts here and here. I just hope we didn't screw up the threading.
No, I don't think so. If they screwed out, then you're alright.
But anyways, we're trying to get the oil pan off this whole time, and we're like, why the hell won't this thing come off? Like, it would not come off, like, at all. Like, no matter what we did, like, both of us just prying down and everything. And finally, Dean noticed that there were two oil pan bolts that I missed on the edge here, but they were like way up in the crack, like you couldn't see them.
Up in the inspection cover hole.
Yeah, in the inspection cover thing, like where that metal shield goes. And yeah, so rookie move for sure. Luckily, I don't think our oil pan is bent, but it's possible it might be. We'll know for sure when we take a straight edge to it. But we did screw up two bolts. They're bent a little bit, and
We'll have to get new ones.
we'll have to get new ones of those. I'll have to order those tonight.
Everything else looks okay down here. I don't think we fucked up anything too bad.
I don't
We'll
think
have
so
to
either.
replace that dowel. That's about it.
Oh yeah, we bent a dowel too on the oil pan, so definitely screwed up. I'm not sure if we can replace those. That might be a part of the oil pan.
It might be just something that we just take out and. You want me to try to get it out?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I mean, you can put it back on without a fucking dowel. Those are just there to line it up, I think.
Yeah. Oh, can you hand me a an oil pan bolt that's not screwed up so I can screw into these threads to make sure they're good?
Yeah.
The dowel's coming out. Nice. Where did those come out of? I think they came out of right here. Alright, let's see if this one will thread in. This one seems to be threading in good. Can't believe we did that, guys. That was so stupid.
We're not that retarded.
We're generally pretty good about stuff like this, but we just really screwed that one up. Like, hardcore. Do we have any picks? Make sure that's focused.
Oil pan's a little bit more.
That sucker is screwed. Yeah, the threads are, well, the thread on this one is good. I'm gonna find out on the next one. I don't think the threads would be screwed up because the bolt still came out, and also the bolt was bent. Which means the bolt gave out, not the, what's it called? Yeah, I think those threads are okay. Really lucky on that one.
Need help?
All right, well, we're about to just clean up the oil pan. And yeah, so time lapse starts now. All right, so far we're looking pretty good on the whole, did we bend the shit out of our oil pan? I think
We're good.
I think we might be good. Let's try this side. Alright. Looks good on my side. Alright, try it long ways one more time. Kinda like how you eat corn, you know what I'm saying? Alright, well, we don't see, it's pretty level.
It's fine.
I think we're good.
Still flat edge.
Still flat edge. We did kind of scar the metal a little bit, but that's all on the edge. Over here it's kind of AIDSy, but nothing that RTV won't fix. There's some more right there. But yeah, well, I'd say we got quite a bit done tonight. That oil pan took way too long. If I wasn't so stupid, that would have been done hours ago, but it is what it is. But so both these dowels turn out to be bent, so I gotta order those. And these two oil pan bolts, we literally bent these. Actually, that's a bad angle, my bad. Yeah, if you kind of reference the base of the bolt and then look at the top, you can see where we bent it. So, well, yeah, I'll order those tonight. Hopefully Honda Parts now doesn't screw me, but they probably will, like they usually do. So, cool. But yeah, I think that about does it for this one, guys. Next weekend, hopefully, if everything comes in that should be coming in, we will be dropping the transmission finally. We might have to wait to reinstall it till I can get the flywheel resurfaced. I don't know if that's gonna be a quick thing or not, so we'll see. I already got a place in mind to take it, so should be good. Catch you guys in the next one.
See you next time.
Hopefully we don't break anything else, yeah?
Yeah, we'll break something.